Hello YouTube, and welcome to part 3 of Build My Evinrude.
So today what we're going to be doing is putting everything back together. I got some great advice from a YouTuber named Brandon's Garage, and I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel below. Great resource. I definitely recommend you check him out. Anyway, what he's recommending is that I check the kill switch first, because we've already checked the spark plugs. And I checked compression. I didn't show that on the first video, but I did check compression. I'm reading 80 psi, just above 80 psi for both. So the engine's good in that aspect of it. So what we're going to do right now is just have him put it all back together, and once we're done, we'll remove the ground wire for the kill switch as Brandon has suggested, and see if we got sparks. So let's do it. There you go. Alright, as you can see, Matthew put everything back together except for the ground, as was suggested, to leave this off. So now we're going to go ahead and try to hook up the spark plug wire and see if we got spark. Turn it over. Okay, we have everything hooked up, so we're going to go ahead and try, see if we got any spark at all. Got the lights off a little bit just so we can see if there's any flash at all in the spark plug. Try a different point, maybe up against the opening here. Alright, try down here. Alright, we're getting nothing on that. We're going to try the top coil. Let's try it on here first. Nothing. Let's move it around a little bit. There's some, there's no paint on this, or right here actually. Here's a good spot. Getting no spark on that. So there you have it. Alright, since we didn't get anywhere with just disconnecting this wire, YouTuber Brandon's Garage also mentioned that if this was chafed, or this wire was chafed somewhere, it could be grounding itself out. So he talked about disconnecting, pulling this wire out, but I don't have the tools to do that. But I do have the tools to put this wire back together. So what I did was just cut this ground here. So now it's definitely, Killswitch is definitely not grounded anywhere. So we're gonna try it again. All right, round 2, here we go. Nothing. Let's try it on here. Nothing. Let me make sure if the ground wire's not touching anything. Try it again. Nothing. Let's try the bottom coil. Make sure that's on there snug. This is on there snug. Let's try it here. And we got nothing. So, tried that out. Let's keep moving along. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna just test out is this coil here. I took the flywheel back off and I adjusted this. I moved this closer to the flywheel to where it was actually touching. And then backed it off just a tad and tried it out, and still no spark. So I don't think it's the positioning of this coil here. So I'm going to check the continuity between these two wires coming out of the coil, and that runs down through here and up, and you can see the same two color wires correspond to these. So these are the same wires, so they end up in the plug. And you can also tell by looking at the pins that these two wires are these two pins. So let me check the continuity on that and see what we get. I have this set to ohms and 200K, so let's see what we get. We're actually getting a little bit of resistance, 0.5. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have that, if it's supposed to be reading 0 just straight through. Yeah, I get 0. And we can check this here. As you can see, this has two wires. It's a white and a white gray, or gray white. These are at the bottom, and two pins are here. Let's try that out. Well, that drops to 0, so it's just straight continuity. There's no resistance on that. So am I supposed to be getting resistance on this coil here? I have no idea. What I could do at this point is put the flywheel back on and check and see if I'm getting any juice from this coil. I should be able to just plug in right into here and see if it's giving me anything. If not, that might tell me this is bad. We've already determined that the ground wire was not the cause. It still might be the problem, or a problem, but it's definitely not the only problem if it is a problem. So let me put the flywheel back on, and I'm going to see if I'm getting any readings once I spin this flywheel. Alright, so I got my red wire here connected to one of the leads. I'm not sure which one should be first, and I have it set to DC. I assume that coil is producing DC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ground this end out and spin the flywheel and see if we get anything. I'm going to put the meter off to the side so you can watch the readings as I spin it. Just one hand, so I got to do this on the side here. Be right back. So, while I was drinking my coffee, did a little bit more research and found out that the coil actually is AC, and it's actually supposed to be throwing 300 volts around that area. So I'm going to try a couple things. Still have my voltmeter. I'm going to go ahead and put my red wire my red lead in, and I'm going to ground and see if I get any kind of reading. Maybe I shouldn't in the first place, but I'm going to do both leads and ground them, and then I'm going to put them both together and see what kind of readings we get, just to show you what I get, and you can comment. So 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and ground it. Nothing's changed, and I'll turn the motor over. Okay, nothing. Switch the lead to the other wire, and I'm going to ground it again and show you what I get. Alright, let's give this a shot. Grounding it and turning it over. And nothing. Alright, last thing I'm going to do is connect the red and the black up to both leads and see what we get. Okay, leads are connected. Just turn this over. Alright, that's 40. I'm not the greatest when it comes to voltmeters. If I'm supposed to times that by 10, be 400, or that's really just 40. So let me know what you think.